Hey everybody, welcome back to the wood shop.
Would you like to attract more beautiful birds to your lawn or garden? A great way to do that is to provide them a good supply of food.
That's right, today we're going to be building a bird feeder. We got the stuff here to do it with, some pine, some plexi-glass, and a piece of rope. So let's go ahead and get started.
All right, we're going to start here at the miter saw to cut some lengths for our boards. We're going to cut two 9-inch pieces, one that's 10 13/16, and two that are 11.5 inches. Later on, we'll come back and cut a custom piece for the bottom of our feeder.
All right, this bird feeder is going to be what they call an automatic bird feeder. That means it has a hopper in the middle that you put your seed in and it falls down as the birds eat it. And usually most people make these out of something clear, plexiglass. That way you can see when more seed needs to be added. Now, to attach the plexiglass in between the sides, we're going to use dados and fit it in between the two side panels. And we've got everything sketched out here where the dados need to go. And we're going to try to cut these on the miter saw. I've never done a dado on the miter saw before, but since I don't have any kind of jig to go with the table saw to make a dado at an angle like this, I'm going to try to do it with the miter saw. Hopefully it'll turn out all right. And now we're over here at the table saw, cut everything down to its final width. The pieces you just seen me do the dados on, that's the side panels. They'll wind up being 6 inches wide. And out of this board, we're going to cut two strips that are 2 inches wide. Those will be for the tray at the bottom. And the roof pieces will be ripped down to 4 inches each to make a peaked roof. We'll have to measure and cut for the bottom piece after we get it all together, because it has to inset into the tray. Okay, I'm going to go ahead now and do some work on the roof. Now, each side of the roof we're going to angle at 25 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and do a bevel cut on each piece of the roof at 25 degrees. That'll give us a total of a 50-degree angle at the roof peak.
All right, we're back over here at the miter saw. The next thing we're going to do is cut 25-degree miters along the top of our side panels to match our roof.
All right, now there's a little bit of work still yet left to do with this roof. You can't have a bird feeder unless you can put bird seed in it, right? So we've got to be able to get the seed in through the top. So what we'll do is we'll mount one half of the roof solid. The other half, I'm going to rip a strip off of it 1 inch wide at the top. That will be mounted solid to the bird feeder, and the rest of it will be on hinges from the small piece to the bigger piece. That way you can lift it up and pour the seed in. All right, on to the next step. Now, our bird feeder is going to need to be hung, so in order to do that, I'm going to drill a 1/4 inch hole in each of these side panels. And you saw that rope we had there at the first of the video. That's a 1/4 inch rope, nylon, and we're going to slip that through these holes, tie a knot in it, so it'll be good and strong and we can hang this up.
All right, we've got most of our pieces cut out. Before we start assembling this, we are going to sand these pieces. It's a lot easier to sand individual pieces than to try to sand it all put together. So I've just got some 120 on our random orbital sander. I'm going to pop this mask on and get to work.
Okay, now we're going to go ahead and start part of the assembly. We're going to put together just enough of this so we can get a good measurement for our bottom piece. Alright, we went ahead and cut our bottom piece. 9 5/16 by 6 inches is what it turned out to be. And we're ready to move on.
We're just going to apply some glue lightly around the edges of this board, and we'll pop this on and nail it together.
And by the way, we are using Type Bond 3 wood glue since birds are outside and the bird feeder is going to be outside. Alright, there's one more measurement we can get now that we have it put together like we do, and that is the size for these plexiglass panels. Now these are 8 by 10. We're going to leave it the full 10-inch width, and we're going to rip these down to 6 1/4 inches tall.
All right, before we put the plexiglass in and attach the roof, we're going to stain this in pieces. It's going to be a lot easier. Today we're using poly shades in the color Mission Oak. It looks great on pine, so let's get this stained. All right, so you just saw Bryan put on the hinges to this roof so we can open it and put birdseed in our feeder. What you didn't see, because our camera decided to play a joke on us, is that, he actually did attach this with glue and brad nails. So that's how we attached the roof, glue and brad nails. I'm going to finish staining this. We saved part of it until we got the roof attached, but now that we do, I'm just going to finish staining this up. We are so close to being done.
All right, we're getting really close to the end now. We've got our little piece of rope here, and we got 4 foot, just to give us enough to play with, and we're going to run it through each hole, tighten a knot. But first thing we're going to do is figure out exactly how much we need. We'll run this first side through and tie it.
All right, just one more step. We're going to put in this last piece of plexiglass. Now, when we attached the other side of the roof, it's on there permanently. So the other piece of plexiglass won't ever be able to be removed unless we take off the roof for some reason. But this one we can remove should the need ever arise. Like if we wanted to replace the rope that it hangs on or something like that, we can always take this one out. So I'm just going to slip this in here. Like so. And there you go.
And now it's done. We've got ourselves a hanging automatic bird feeder.
That's right. This is going to serve as a buffet for our feathered friends.
Now, one thing we failed to mention earlier, at those knots on the inside here, we actually put hot glue on those knots to make them stronger so they won't come apart.
That's right. Those ends have a tendency to fray, so we tried to head that off at the pass. If you like this video, give us a big thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel, never miss a video of Wood Songs by Russell. We thank you so much for joining us today. Happy woodworking!